Alright. Hey everyone, and welcome to another Dalton trucking training video. In this video you're going to learn the difference between working load limits for your straps, your chains, and what steps you can take to ensure your load is secured properly in accordance with federal and state law. Pretty soon here we're going to be talking about your different chain ratings, your markings that are on the side of the chains, how you can find out what your working load limit is for each chain that you use. Also, we're all going to talk about where you can find those working load limits, and that's in Part 393 of the Federal Motor Carrier Handbook and Manual there. Part 393.108 is available to you at any dispatcher. It's also on the website of the Federal Motor Carrier. HR would have it. Just ask any management personnel. We can get this to you. Now, we'd like to go ahead and talk to Tom Gibson and talk about all these wonderful chains. All right, we're here in the Dalton Shop with Tom Gibson, and he's going to show us a little bit about all the different assortments of chains, binders, straps, and what else do we have here, Tom?
We have strap protectors, we have chain guards, chain protectors.
Pretty much everything these guys are going to be using in the field, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of what this chain is and what its rating is and why it's either a good or a bad chain. Come on in here. Take a look at this.
Well, this chain here, first of all, you should be able to read a rating on it.
So this rating's going to be on the side of the chain?
It'll sometimes
like right here,
be on the side. Right here is the rating on this one. It is rated P7, and what they do is they're rated in 6, 7, 8, or it's 60, 70, 800. Basically, it's all the same thing. 7 is the same as 70. 70 is the same as 700, but you're going to find a number on here. So that rating... And
that corresponds to Part 393 of their handbook, correct?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, 393. So tell me, Tom, the...
Well, for a 7, this is a strange chain right here because what they do on a 5... This is a 5/16 inch chain, and it's a G70 hook. And this is a G7 chain. They both are the same, able to have the same weight, which is 4,700 pounds, except for, on this piece here, this would be derated immediately by
that's
the DOT because it's got worn and bent. So it's basically damaged, and they derate chains when they find them that way.
Okay, so is this unusable or is it still usable?
It's still usable, but they give it to the lowest grade. It will go to a grade 30.
Okay, so even though it's rated at
2,000 pounds is all.
That's what you're losing just because of that one little spot.
You're actually using more like 3,000.
Wow, that's pretty important.
Because of that ding.
Okay, let's move on. What do we have here, Tom?
All chains have markings of some type. If they're United States, this is just like that chain is a G7 right there on the side.
Okay.
It's 5/16. It would be rated at 5,700 pounds, except for it's got broke length, so you couldn't use that length there. You'd have to get rid of it. This one here is a 3/8 chain, and it's rated at P70, which is the same thing. It's a United States alloy, and let's see what that would be.
So I'm seeing a lot of our chains are rated at P7 or 70 or 700. Is that a pretty common rating for us?
For us, it's 700 and 800.
Okay.
All right. For that chain right there, for the new rules, as a good chain, 3/8, 700, it's 6,600 pounds is the cargo limit on that.
Okay.
For
and
one chain.
Like we said before, that's found in Part 393.108.
Yes, it is. If you go on and find another chain that's rated different, this is rated at right here. It's number 8, P8,
Okay, well,
That
a
goes-
P8, you'd think it'd be more, right?
For this chain, it would be.
Okay, but let's
It
say
would
we have
be,
a 5/16 P8
If you had a 5/16 P8 it
versus
would be,
P7, yeah.
Yeah, this is the only time that this doesn't get bigger. Is on the 5/16 chain, number 8 rating, grade 80. It is rated at 4,500 pounds. But if you have a grade 70, which should be a lower rating,
You would think.
yeah, normally, but because of the alloys put into it,
Oh.
it's graded at 200 pounds more in load strength.
So even though it's a
But
lower grade, because of the alloys that are in
Because
it,
of the alloys
it
in it.
actually can hold more of a
Right.
weight or load. Okay, great. Want to go ahead and
Now these chains here, the 3/8 and 5/16, these are usually used on smaller loads, such as flatbed. Flatbed all use these all the time. I mean, that's basically what they're going to use.
that's their standard size
That's their
chain,
standard
probably.
size
Yeah.
for this company. Now, when you get into the low bed and the heavy haul drivers with the big equipment, machinery, and the stuff they haul, you're going to get into chains that are 5/8. This is a 5/8 chain. Right
Very
here.
large chain.
Yep. And it's rated grade 100 alloy.
Wow.
That chain there is 22,600 pounds. One chain can hold that working load. This chain here is their half-inch chain, and it's rated, and it is a 7, so it would be rated at 11,300 pounds. So basically, 11,300, 22,600.
That's quite a bit of difference.
That's a big difference because of the alloys they put in this one, and this is a transport chain.
That's starting to make a lot more sense to me now. Let's go in here and talk about these different binders that we have sitting out here. So, just the same as chains. Binders
Yeah,
are
they
rated.
are graded.
Okay.
Yes, they are. And they come in different sizes and shapes.
Here's a really big one here, so
Yeah.
I'll pick that up. So here we got, this one says, let's see here, let's read it. What is this rated at here?
This one is grade 5. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's grade 8. It's a 5/8 hook. Because
Okay.
the hook isn't always the same as the ratchet binder itself.
Well, that's a good point to bring up. So the ratchet binder might be rated for less or more than the hook,
Right.
depending on your different
Right,
application. And all the driver has to do is see that rating and then cross-reference it with
the-
393-108 to get their correct thing. Now, is that 393-108, that form and all the weight limits and whatever not in the gradings,
Right, it's all
is
there.
that available to the drivers at all
It's
times?
available everywhere.
Okay, where would they find that?
They would find it in HR if they have one. They could find it with any of their dispatchers.
Okay.
And they should have found it inside their file because most of them were getting these. We're supplying them to the drivers. One interesting thing about this is this binder here, this ratchet binder here, it's a grade 80.
Okay.
So, and the chain that fits at 5/8, that's 100. When you're working a load, you can only, whatever the lowest point is what the whole thing is.
So for this particular
chain
one,
could usually run at 22,600. The binder is 18,100.
so we have to go by
We have to go by
18,100
that.
because this would be our lowest piece of strength in that tie
Exactly.
down. Okay, that makes a lot more sense too. This is a
Snap binder.
snap binder, and this is, I can see here by looking at it, it looks like it's a 5 rating, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now
And it's,
it says right here, working load limit 9,200 pounds.
right.
Now that seems awfully high for a 5 rating snap binder.
Well, actually,
I mean, it may be correct, but if you ever doubt it, the driver can always cross-reference
You can
393.108 just to
yes,
be
you
sure.
can. Actually, that wouldn't be, that is a grade 4.
This is a grade 4. Okay.
Yep. Somewhere on here.
It's going to have a marking specifying that this is a grade 4 on it.
Yeah, 9,200 pounds right there. Grade 4.
Gotcha. Wonderful.
But when they're using these and they snap a load shut.
Okay. This can probably come loose pretty quickly.
Well, it's the motor carrier's rule that you have to have this handle secured, either with baling wire.
Maybe a zip tie would probably work too, right?
Will work, anything like that. Some drivers try to wrap their chain around it so it doesn't pop open, as long as it's not in an upward angle where the chain can slide down.
Any of which these things are available to them for free in our shop office, correct?
Yes, they are.
That's fantastic.
Yes, they are.
Okay, let's move on.
And moving on over here, we have 2 binders, ratchet binders, that
they look identical,
almost,
Tom.
except for
What's
right
the
here
difference?
you have a hook that is rated at 7, and this hook here is
3.
rated at a 3.
Look at that. So even though the ratchet binder looks to be the same size and it looks to be the same strength, it is definitely not because the hooks are rated differently, correct?
Right, and if you can't find a rating on any binder,
Uh-huh.
they automatically go to the lowest grade. It would be grade 30.
I have a question for you. Now, does that work with straps as well?
It works with straps as well if there is no marking on it. Now this here is obviously damaged.
Wow. What happened here, Tom?
Somebody put a very big breaker bar on it probably, and
Whew, no doubt.
cranked down on it, and it snapped the bolt here, bent the handle. Just a bend, if you might not have noticed, but this handle has a small bend in it. They can derate this just because of the little bend.
And what happens if I'm
And the
out on
reason
the...
Well, the reason they do that is this.
Oh, gotcha.
Because once it's weakened in the handle,
It's going to come right apart, isn't it?
and if somebody is bearing down on it, it snaps, they're going to get hurt.
Exactly.
And if it snaps back,
And we've definitely seen that here at our Dalton Trucking.
here's another one.
Another bent one.
That's out of,
So let me
of
ask you a
service.
question. Since this is out of service, what if this was my last snap binder on my truck and I needed it to move forward to get that piece to the yard? I'm 20 miles away. What would I do? Just go with it, or would I call the shop? Or
Well, what you'd have to do with that one, because it is damaged, you'd have to derate it to the lowest setting,
okay,
which is grade 30. So that one would go from a 70, because I already looked at it, grade 7, and it's 5/16, so it would go 1,900 pounds, and if it was good, it's 4,700.
huge
So
difference.
yeah, this one here would only be able to use. It automatically be degraded. So 1,000 pounds, well, close to 2,000 pounds, 1,900.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's see what else we have here. We got a good one here.
Oh yeah.
I definitely want to talk about that.
That one here.
Why is this one different than any of these other?
Well, these
it
are
looks
all
almost the same.
These are all United States steel here. You can't find any markings or ratings here on it anywhere. So it would normally be automatically downgraded to grade 30.
Okay.
In this case, it's made in China. It
Oh.
says right there, made in China. And the Chinese, they stamp it with WWL 5,400 pound rating. But you see anybody, because WLL is not patented.
Yeah.
Anybody can stamp that on anything in
It's just letters.
manufacturing. It's just letters. That's all it is. So a guy goes out and buys this, but what he doesn't know is there's more tin put in the Chinese steel.
Cheaper
A
to
lot
make it.
more.
So,
So-
but it seems like it's a great binder. Why wouldn't I use it?
Well, when you're bearing down with one arm, let's say, tightening this up and it's getting tight, all of a sudden,
Oh, wow. Yeah, we can't have that happen. Look at that.
Because what you're doing with one arm or 2 arms with this one, you can't do with that one.
So U.S. made products definitely superior here.
Absolutely.
Okay, got that. What do we have here, Tom?
We have everything from a 1 inch. These are for straps. These are called hand ratchets. They're also
Okay.
just different methods for tying a load down, and they're also graded.
Okay, these are also graded, and you can see by the markings on the side of it. Now, what if this doesn't have any markings on the side
If
of
it
it?
has no markings, it goes again back down to grade
Lowest
30.
rating.
Lowest grade rating.
Seems to be a trend here.
All right, these two basically are the same thing you have in your hand. This, which one's that graded at?
Let's see here. Let's say it's a graded of 4.
All right.
Right there.
And this one has no markings. It's a 2-inch binder. It would go down 910 pounds.
That's
versus 1,360 pounds.
Oh, that's quite a bit of difference.
But these are 2-inch straps.
Just because it doesn't have a marking. It may be the same exact strap, because that
Right.
marking's not there,
Right.
it's immediately done.
Immediately
downgraded.
This is what we use usually here at Dalton.
This is a big boy.
4-inch strap. Goes into it. It's the same as these here. It's a hand ratchet.
Oh, I can see that this has a tag on it, so it
Yes,
shows
it
me
does.
all the ratings and everything on the tag, which is nice. Now, I have
Except
another
for one
question.
thing.
What's that?
It also says made in China.
It does. I see that right there. So, I guess that's not a good thing?
Well, not for the ratchet itself. Anybody can buy the ratchet, a
Okay.
company, let's say, and this bolt here comes off, and they put their
They can replace the
straps
strap.
on. Right, so the straps. This one here is made in the United States. It is rated.
Okay. Oh, well, but it looks like we got a
But-
bunch of duct tape on this guy.
Yeah, the duct tape was put around here probably, I would say, to hold it shut.
But wouldn't that be a big red flag to a DOT
Oh,
officer?
a DOT officer would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
Tearing that thing off to see if
there's
it's not cut.
anything in
Yeah.
there. This here is rated at 4,000 pounds just for the ratchet.
Okay.
That one there is 3,000 pounds. That's the difference between Chinese and American made. That's just the ratchet. It has nothing to do
With the strap.
with the straps.
Okay.
Or the strap, you know. These here are
So the strap that's on the ratchet and the ratchet could have
they
different
could be
ratings on them.
completely rated
Wow.
differently.
Seems
But
like there's a lot of
again,
things
you're
to look at.
going to the lowest rate.
If it's not marked,
If
correct.
it's not marked, you're losing a couple thousand pounds
What's-
of rating.
Why do we have this strap out here, Tom?
Well, this strap here has a few deficiencies. Right here is one. As I've already read to you, any defect, they will, let me put it this way. Chains, they will derate.
Okay.
Straps, they put out of service immediately.
So if this is
If it's
defective
got-
in any way,
if
you're
it's got
just
a
done.
1/4 inch
Replace it or find another one.
cut on it, hole in it, and 1/4 inch isn't very much, or you can feel that.
Yeah, I can definitely feel it.
Because
I can
more
see it,
like-
feel it, everything.
More than likely, somebody didn't use a strap protector, softener,
Okay.
something underneath it, and so they cut it. So this was a perfectly good strap until they didn't put
One simple mistake, just throw
put
this
the
in the
whole thing
trash
out.
can.
Yeah, throw it in the trash can.
Okay, so
Or
you're saying a
cut it
1/4
up
inch.
and use it.
Oh, you
for
could as a
softener.
strap protector.
Yeah,
Again.
that's about all it's worth.
So you're saying a 1/4 inch puts this out of service.
Absolutely.
Very good thing to look at there. Let's move on. What else do we have
All
here?
right, we're already into. We did this. This is one also we use.
Okay.
It's a 3-inch.
3-inch, correct.
And we use those two. Same thing applies to this one. If you look at the end here,
Yeah, it says 12,000 pounds rated.
and it was made in Kentucky.
Fantastic.
This is a U.S. binder. This is a U.S. strap. And that's what it's rated at, 12,000
Wow.
pounds.
So yeah, that's a huge difference.
Compared to 9,000.
Yeah, this Chinese strap was rated a lot less, and it's a 4-inch strap as opposed to a 3-inch.
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
is rated more because it was made in Kentucky.
It was made in the United States, different steel,
That's a good
different
thing to
alloys.
Let's why don't you stay right where you're at, and we'll look at these different things here. So this is another strap that we're looking at now. This looks like it's been sewn on.
Yeah,
Or
it
is this-
has. It has. But again, this was made by a company quite a long time ago, and it is made in the United States. That little strap right there is 10,000 pounds.
Wow.
Versus,
That thing, which is showing me right there, 5,400 pounds. That is a trip, man.
it's just the way they make them.
You could fit almost 2 of these. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have here? These are the
These
ways
are
to
strap
protect this,
protect.
right?
That's how you protect these from getting wear marks, scrapes.
Now, where can a driver find these different types of things
Everywhere.
So, Tom, I've definitely learned a lot just by sitting here with you for 10 minutes just talking about these different things. I've definitely learned everything should be marked, and if it's not, it derates. Everything that we have here is readily available. If anything's damaged at all, it's out of service. Is there anything that I'm missing?
No, pretty much that's it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time,
Well,
Tom.
I have to get back to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. There you go.